2011. Real Madrid versus Barcelona. The score is 0-0. Both teams now facing each other during extra time, with penalties soon looming. Can Real Madrid bring La Copa back to the club? The Portuguese forward leaped to crash home a 102nd minute header from Angel Di Maria's superb deep center. Cristiano Ronaldo's dramatic extra time winner secured a 1-0 victory over Barcelona in the final of the Copa del Rey. Surely one of his most iconic moments in football history that led him to money, fame, glory. Have you ever thought of having that one day? This man is without doubt one of the most adored players in football history. But amongst all the fame and success, his life was nothing less than an uphill battle. From left to right, he had stared straight in the eyes of failure, went through numerous obstacles to stand in the greatest podium of all time, overcoming challenges such as poverty, bullying, poor education, and a dangerous heart condition to achieve greatness, to achieve his dream. Let's take a dive into the life of Portuguese football player Cristiano Ronaldo and see for ourselves his turning from hard work to success. Welcome to Untapping Your Potential, where we will share with you motivational stories that will keep you growing and inspire you to take action. February 5th, 1985. Cristiano was born into a very, very poor family in Madeira, Portugal. He was the youngest of 3 siblings. As a young boy, Cristiano had to face many challenges growing up. Poverty, starvation, and an unsure future constantly troubled him and his family. His mother, who was then working a low-paying job as a cook, had admittedly thought of abortion when she was pregnant with Cristiano. She was doubtful she could ever successfully bring a child into this world, but her doctor managed to convince her otherwise. Due to their impoverished lifestyle, Cristiano and his family lived in a very small house. The family had little to nothing. I grew up with nothing. We were very poor. I didn't get toys or presents at Christmas. Money wasn't the only problem, Cristiano Ronaldo. Despite his mother's active presence, there was still an empty hole in Cristiano's life. He never had a close relationship with his father. Most of the time, he was absent in the young kid's life. His father, Jose, worked as a gardener and also as a janitor for Cristiano's youth club's changing rooms. The young boy was constantly bullied and mocked for his father's occupation, but this wasn't what hurt him most. Jose was an alcoholic and very depressed. Back then, Cristiano never understood what caused his father's depression, but perhaps it was because of their unstable lifestyle. Cristiano tried his hardest to not let his unfortunateness get the best of him, so Cristiano would always turn towards one thing that gave him strength: football. He began playing football as a means to escape. Cristiano would often skip meals just to play with other kids in the streets. From 1992 to 1995, Cristiano would play for Andrinha. Even in his earliest days, his skill was clear and his work ethic was commendable. In 1997, when Cristiano was merely 11 years old, he was casted for a 3-day trial in the Sporting Lisbon, where he had successfully made it to the cut-offs in his favorite team. Everyone knew of the young boy's talent, but also criticized him for his skinny stature. It's true, I was skinny. I had no muscles. So I made a decision when I was 11 years old. I knew I had a lot of talent, but I decided that I was going to work harder than everybody. I started sneaking out of the dormitory at night to work out. I got bigger and faster. I would walk into the field, and the people who used to whisper, "Yeah, but he's so skinny," now they will be looking at me like it was the end of the world. You might believe that young Cristiano was living a dream. He was, but only for a brief moment. In a flash, his dream turned into a nightmare. Following his acceptance into the club, Cristiano had to move away from his home in Madeira to Lisbon to join Sporting's youth academy. No money, no friends, nor family. Cristiano was left all alone to fend for himself. The only thing he had brought with him were his talents and passion for football. It was very difficult for me, Cristiano said. It was the worst experience of my life. Lisbon felt like a whole different world for the boy, and every day he found himself crying, missing his family. Most nights, Cristiano often had to beg a local McDonald's branch for food. Although moments like these were merely a small part of his everyday struggle, Cristiano excelled on the field, but this was not the same case in school. At age 14, Cristiano was expelled from the academy after throwing a chair at his teacher in frustration after failing to intervene with his bullies. He was constantly mocked and teased in school, but the teachers had only turned a blind eye at this. But Cristiano had seen school as a form of imprisonment, where he was unable to express himself freely. It was through this moment that Cristiano began to realize that the only true place where he belonged was in a football pitch. Then his mother decided to report her child's decision to never return back to school, and had also decided to uproot her life and accompany him to the capital. Cristiano began to spend his days training tirelessly to perfect his game. Things were starting to sail smoothly, or so they thought. The same year, he was diagnosed with a heart problem that, regrettably, caused his heart to beat rapidly even when he wasn't playing. The severity of his condition required him to undergo surgery. They were unsure whether or not at the end of the surgery, if Cristiano would be able to play football once again. Cristiano was anxious, but ultimately underwent the surgery. Days after, Cristiano eagerly went back to training. Finally, he was able to concentrate on what he mattered most to him, reaching his dream. The young boy from a remote city of Madeira wanted to show those that had doubted him that he could succeed. Along with his football journey, he kept one thing in mind. You're not the best when you believe you are, but when you know it. Cristiano Ronaldo became the first Portuguese player to play for Manchester United when he signed a £50 million contract in 2003. Sir Alex Ferguson insisted on awarding him the number 7 jersey after he joined the team and assured his future as a football superstar. Cristiano Ronaldo became the most expensive football player in history in 2009 when he transferred from Manchester to United to Real Madrid for a reported €94 million. Ronaldo spent the next 10 years making history in Real Madrid until he agreed to a 4-year deal with Juventus in exchange for a €100 million move. And for a player above the age of 30, the transfer was the highest ever. In his career, Ronaldo has won 27 awards, including 5 gold medals, Ballon d'Or, European Golden Shoes, the UEFA Champions League, you name it, he's got them all. Who would have thought that the young, scrawny boy from Madeira would someday leave his mark in history? I'm not a perfectionist, but I like to feel that things are done well. More important than that, I feel an endless need to learn, to improve, to evolve, not only to please the coach and the fans, but also to feel satisfied with myself. It is my conviction that there are no limits to learning, and it can never stop, no matter what our age. Cristiano Ronaldo. What keeps you going? Is it your family? Your friends? Is it something very small, but something that's dear to you? Is it your dream? It's easy to dream, to have a dream, to speak of a dream. But do you think you will ever achieve your dream? Now, before you say no, always remember, winners don't make excuses. Cristiano Ronaldo, like any other extraordinary human being, he had also faced tons and tons of difficulties, failures, and disappointments in his life. His life was never smooth sailing. No one's life is. It is inevitable to stumble and fall along our journey in life. But no matter the setback, Cristiano never backed down. Instead, he used the things that hurt him and turned them into things that gave him strength. What does it mean to never give up then? Simple. It means to believe in yourself. Preserve against all odds. If Cristiano had given up, he would have never achieved his dreams. We would have never seen this great man on the football fields. History would have lost one of his most valuable players. When you have a dream or a conviction, you either pursue it or you don't. There is no in between. You must invest in what makes you great, so in the future, you will be even greater. Work hard, work smart, work and don't idle. Yes, working hard may seem difficult in the beginning. That is true. You may encounter days when people will criticize you, try to drag you down, or perhaps you might find days when it is yourself that wants to put yourself down. But in the midst of pain and hardship, remember that hard work betrays none. If the grass looks greener on the other side, stop staring, stop comparing, and start watering the grass you're standing on. As Cristiano Ronaldo once said, "My best words are dedication and hard work. To achieve this kind of thing, you need to work hard, be a great professional, be serious in your job, and this is what I try to do. It's because we all have talent. But talent without hard work is nothing." Thanks for watching this video. How would you like to hear more motivational stories on a consistent basis? Do me a favor, comment below, and please make sure to like and hit that subscribe button to get the latest update. Soon, you will be on your way to feeling inspired.